Hello, Jen here with a layout for the Wild Whisper design team. So you can see I'm just showing you some of the little bits and pieces that I plan on using, lots of stuff that I've collected from my stash, and then some of my few remaining pieces of the Wild Whimsy collection. I only have a couple things left. And then some extra papers from the More Adventures collection and No Place Like Home. So I only had a few pieces of each of those collections left too, so I just pulled out all of the ones that I thought would match with Wild Whimsy, and that's what I'm going to use. This is a cut file. Actually, I don't think, I was going to say this is a cut file by Heather from Wild Whisper, but I don't know if she ever put this out as a cut file that people could use, but she designed it to sell at the Great Canadian Scrapbook Carnival. So I thought it was really cute and I grabbed one, and it turns out that this is the perfect time to use it because I love how the hearts are really whimsical and sort of hand-drawn and sketchy feeling. So they definitely complement the Wild Whimsy collection and just the whole feel of this layout. So this layout is a picture of my sister. She's my parents adopted her as an adult, actually. She's my very, very best friend. But yeah, my parents kind of adopted her, and so we're sisters now. And our daughters are born 3 days apart, and they're absolute best friends. They're basically sisters too. And my daughter left to go to Ottawa for Easter break, and she's visiting them. And it made me really sad that I couldn't join her. So I thought that this was the perfect picture for me to scrap this time around, because this was during our summer visit. And we really don't get to see them very often anymore. So yeah, I was feeling a bit homesick and missing them, so I pulled this picture out, and it's just the four of us. We're sitting in the car having some Starbucks, which is kind of what we did. I think probably for the first 3 years of my daughter's life and her daughter's life, they saw each other every single day. Like every single day. We were inseparable until we moved out west. So yeah, it was just nice to be able to get back into those routines and spend time with each other, even though it was way too short. And I'm super jealous that my daughter's hanging out with them right now and I'm still stuck at home, but that's okay. It was nice to remember this afternoon. It was a lot of fun. So it also gives me the opportunity to kind of use up all these hearts and sentimental things and just be really kind of girly and pink. And even though none of us are actually super girly and pink, it just kind of seemed like the right colors to go with. So you can see here how I kind of pulled out a bunch of stuff, and I'm just basically auditioning the different ephemera pieces I've pulled out and the locations that I want it to go in. And mostly I'm trying to make sure that I can cover up that big gaping hole that's in my 12 by 12 paper. So that paper is from the More Adventures collection, and it's got the really cool wolves on the other side. So I'm a little bit sad that I'm using up the whole thing, but this gray side here has these diamond, sort of hand-drawn diamond shapes, and they're a perfect match for the gems that are in the Wild Whimsy collection. So I really like being able to have that motif kind of hidden in little places. And I love how the gray really softens the colors in this collection. So it's a great way to sort of have a little bit more versatility with your different collections and to stretch them a little bit by just changing the way that they feel. So when I use them, I use the Wild Whimsy collection on white cardstock. I found that really gave the colors the opportunity to sort of burst a little bit. They were quite bright, and it had that really clean, beachy feeling. And now on the gray, it kind of, I don't want to say subdues them, it just really softens them. And so it changes the whole feel of the collection. And it's a really great way to be able to get more out of your papers just by changing the colors that you're kind of pairing them up with. So I love how versatile this whole collection has been. And oh, sorry for all those shadows. The sun was starting to set. I made it all the way to 6:30 today with natural sunlight. So woohoo, that means summer's coming. But I had to put everything away for the night. So now I'm back the next day, and I've got all my little layers behind my paper, and I like how nice and thin and clean they are. They're still, when you look at them, they're still sort of uneven. There's a lot of interest to the layers, but they're just not too wide because I really didn't want it to be too busy or to compete too much with the hearts. And now I want to go back again and sort of figure out where I'm going to put all of my little clusters. So I'm just going to go through those little ephemera. I'd say they're about 50% Chamel Glitter Girl and 50% Pebbles. And so I tried to get a flower and something gold, well, a gold heart, I guess, is what I ended up with, and a coffee cup of some sort in every little cluster, along with this flare from Accent Scrapbooking. Is it Accent Scrapbooking or Accent Scrapbooker? I'll have to double check on that, but I'll leave a link to them down below anyways. So each little cluster will have a flare from there. And then I had these fun little hashtag labels that also came from Pebbles, I think. But I lost one. I can't figure out where it went. So I have one that says Girl Squad, one that says Flawless, and I can't even remember what the other one said. So I ran and pulled out some Tim Holtz little phrase stickers because I knew I had some black ones, and I'm going to put those in that third bottom cluster. But if, as I'm cleaning stuff up, I happen to find the last hashtag label, I will take them off and put that down in the bottom just so everything matches. But for now, I'll use the black Tim Holtz little phrase stickers, and I'm okay with it because it has that sort of pop of dark color. But oh, I hate when that happens, don't you? So I just popped it up, you can see there, on my craft foam that I got from the Dollar Tree. And it just makes it easy to kind of tuck little things in when you have some dimension. And I use those little pop dots from EK Success, just again because it lets you slide things in and out. And now I just have to fuss with these clusters again because of course I didn't take a picture to see what they looked like so that I could try and recreate it again. And I can never get them to go back the same way. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like the very first time that I put them together is always my favorite. I think because you go with your gut that first time, so it's more about feel. And by the time you're actually ready to stick everything down, I'm starting to overthink it. And so now I can't get that feeling back of them being exactly how I want them. So that's okay though. I'm not going to spend too much time fussing with it. I mean, I guess I do spend a little bit of time fussing with it because you just sort of want to get the balance right. But when you start to overthink things too much, it doesn't become fun anymore. It gets frustrating for me. So, and I'm just going to pop some little gems down. I cut those out of one of the cards from the card pack. And I just thought that they would be another fun way to bring a little bit of color into each of these clusters. So I have 4 little gems for this bottom cluster, 4 for the top, and then I have that journaling card that I cut, and that'll be over on that third cluster. I decided using my Xyron would be a little bit easier because they are still pretty tiny, and so it was hard to get adhesive on them. And there's my little word stickers from Tim Holtz that I put down. And now I have to fuss with this cluster because, of course, the same thing happened here. You would think I would just learn and start taking pictures, but I don't. So I'm going to fuss around a little bit until I can figure out how I want them to look. Oh, I guess that would have looked pretty nice too, actually. I could have kept it like that, probably. Oh, well, that's okay. I felt like maybe the coffee cup was too covered up, and I really wanted you to be able to see that that was a coffee cup. But I finally decide on this little configuration here, so I'm going to tuck everything in. And I think that top one is the one that says flawless, the hashtag flawless, and the heart says Girl Squad. And then I'm giving it the heart flare. They're just so pretty. I really love them. And now some gems to go in this little cluster. And, oh, I was going to say, did I learn and put them through the Xyron? I did not. I think I put the other ones through the Xyron though. And then now onto this cluster on the side. This is just another card from the card pack that I cut out. So I'll put a little bit of journaling on it, but I really don't have a lot that I need to say. I mostly just kind of liked this gave me a bit of a base to put this cluster on. So again, instead of a coffee cup, this one's a Frappuccino cup and it says Best Friends. And then another flower. And this hashtag, the hashtag little tag here says Girl Squad. And for my gold hearts, I'm going to the Amy Tangerine sticker book. And I think that one's from Heart and Hustle. Is that what the collection's called? Yeah, I think so. So all three clusters have a gold heart, but they're all different. Here, yep, see, I learned with these teeny tiny little gems. These are the little gems on the card that weren't full gems. I cut them out and I'm going to tuck them into a couple of these little hearts so it just looks like the gems are kind of peeking out. And I just like, again, that it kind of carries that whole motif throughout the layout. Oh, and say goodbye to the wolves. I am a little bit sad I'm not using that side of the paper, but the gray is really nice too. And for finishing touches, I have some of these Freckled Fawn puffy stickers. Again, just gold hearts. And some Spiegel Mom scrap sequins. I really wanted to use these gem wood veneer, but by the time I actually got all of my clusters together, I just couldn't figure out how to get them to work. So I think I might pull out my watercolors and maybe try painting them and see if I can do something with them that way. But here are my little sequins. And I'm just scattering a few of them, one in each color. Very simple. I feel like, it's busy enough. It didn't really need tons and tons. And I'm not going to do any sprinkles of mist or anything like that either, because I like how it's nice and plain. And this is kind of my go-to style, I think. I think this is my comfort zone style, if that makes sense. But I love it. I think it turned out really pretty. And yeah, I've had tons and tons of fun using the Wild Whimsy collection. So definitely, if you guys haven't checked it out already, go to Wild Whisper. Get this collection. It's gorgeous. I will leave the links for Wild Whisper and everything else that I've used on the layout down below. And if you have any questions, you can leave them for me in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And until next time, happy scrapping. Bye!